And hello. Starting streams feels really weird. I'm not big enough to have people waiting to see the stream start. Not that I really expected it yet, but how are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. Uh-oh. Phone sound doesn't fix that problem. And, but yeah, what have you been up to since last Thursday?
I half mowed the yard. Been working.
Mm-hmm.
Went bowling on Friday.
Nice. You do well?
Mm, I think I had two decent games and one crappy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the third game, I'm pretty sure the third game kind of sucked.
Well, I mean, it makes sense that it would be the last game, because that would be when you've, because bowling is fairly strenuous. Because I mean, bowling balls are not light, and you kind of don't really want them to be. At least as far as I'm aware, the weight helps with applying force correctly. Um,
The
and you have to use a ball that's slightly heavier, don't you? Or do you have a custom ball? You have a custom ball, don't you?
I have my own ball now.
Yeah.
And I use a 13-pounder.
Hmm.
But for the last league,
Hmm.
um, my averages, the first game was the lowest, the middle one was the middle, and the last one was the highest. So
Hmm. Okay. So it does seem a little weird that that pattern would switch today, or not today, but on Friday. But I don't know. It
yeah,
still makes sense because usually when I've gone bowling, my last game is my worst one because my arm's all sorts of tired and stuff. Uh,
yeah.
I've not really been up to much. Some friends of mine and I have started playing Project Zomboid, the zombie survival game, which has been interesting. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet, but I've been enjoying the first little bit I've played so far. The controls are a little clunky because it's trying to do quite a lot of simulation, so the game is a bit. I'm not explaining things very well. So the things that I find fairly clunky about the controls is the way you move about the map is with for me the WASD keys, and to face a certain direction, I have to use the right mouse button on the mouse, obviously, because it's the right mouse button. But you have to click to face a certain direction, otherwise you'll face the direction you're walking, and it's sometimes really important. But also when I'm trying to look in certain containers, um, if I move, it'll change which container I'm focused on, and it'd be nice if it would try and keep on a specific container as long as I'm in range, at least until.
Ah, there you are.
Uh-oh. Was that Discord being slow?
Well, all of a sudden you just froze, and then Discord was all just whirly, and I thought maybe it was my end, but I don't know. And then it just suddenly you were back again.
Hmm. What was the last thing you remember me talking
You started to say something about friends.
about? Oh, so a group of friends and I have started playing Project Zomboid. They've played it a few times, at least some of them have played it before, but it's a new game to me. And I was talking about how I found the controls to be a little clunky because it's an isometric game, so kind of like Sacred in its perspective. If you
Okay.
remember
Uh-huh.
how the camera was for that, and you can't rotate the camera I don't remember if you can rotate it in Sacred, but you can't rotate it in Project Zomboid.
Yeah.
And there are things in all sorts of places. So there you'll have like containers that are on like one side, and when you go inside a building, it has to hide all the walls and stuff. And there are certain ways that makes the game feel a little funky, and there are other ways in which, like, if I'm like trying to look inside of a container for items and stuff, and then I move close to another container, it will switch containers because of the way that the control scheme works when you're like facing certain things or trying
well,
to.
that can be frustrating.
Yeah. Part of it's just sort of getting used to the way that the game works, but yeah. And there are a few other things that take a really long time that it'd be nice if it didn't take so long, but it being a zombie survival game makes some of the things that like have a time investment make sense because oftentimes the zombies are trying to like come get you, but it's a lot easier when you've got a group of people rather than a single player experience.
Yeah.
But yeah. I've been enjoying it so far, even if I have some complaints about it. But otherwise, I think it's been a decent time.
No, that's good.
That's kind of the only real new thing that's happened at my side. But other than that, I think it's time for some Sudoku. Got like 1,000 tabs open, but it would help if I clicked the Sudoku button on the streaming software to see the puzzle. All right. At least I haven't forgotten that for the stream so far, as far as I know. But I also want to start recording. All right. Puzzle number 1, Consecutive, by Teal. Place a subset of the digits 1 to 9 in each row, column, and box. The same set must be placed in each. Adjacent digits on a green line differ by at least 5. Digits on a purple line form a set of consecutive digits in any order. Box borders divide the blue line into segments with the same sum. Digits in a cage sum to the indicated total. Okay, so this is, looks like it's a 6x6, but we've got a subset of the digits 1 through 9. I didn't realize that ahead of time, so. Alright, then let's get started. Well, we know we've got at least 4 digits consecutive in a row. Well, I guess this one is 6, 7, 8, 9. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, we know that long red band can't contain a 1 or a 2 ever.
True. 9.
And 5 can't be on the green.
Very true. And we also can't put 4 or 6 on the middle of the line.
Right.
So this is either an 8-9 pair or 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I want to consider this being a 9. 9, 8, 7, 6. That would mean this would have to be a 6 and a 1, too.
Uh-huh.
Which means that if this is a 9, these would have to be 1, 2. Because I wouldn't have a 3.
Right.
Although that wouldn't imply anything about the values on here, because it could be 7, 8, or 9. Well, it wouldn't be able to be a 9. It would be a 7 or 8, and then you have 6, 7, 8 in these 2 places, and 2 pair there. And all of the high digits and 1 and 2, like, that's just a 1, 7, or a 2, 6 here. So that's not impossible. And I guess this would have to be the 6 or 7 to pair with a high digit. But I guess this could also... No, this couldn't be a 1-2 pair if this was a 9. So yeah, this would have to be the 6 or 7. And then this would be 6, 7, or 8. Ah, but this would be 6, 1, 2, so this would be 7 or 8.
Right.
None of which is getting to the idea that this can't be a 9. We don't have a problem with this being 10. But I guess...
All right. Well, on the four cell Ren band,
Yeah.
if 6 is the highest digit on that
Uh-huh.
Ren band, it will not work. Because you can't put the 3 would have to be
Right. Okay. So that removes 3 as the possibility then.
right.
But because
Yeah, I guess I
what
should have.
what you're saying is if this was a 6, and or rather, if 6 was the highest digit, then you couldn't have 7, 8, 9, and then the
Right.
3 would be 8 and 9, and then
But you
now
can't
you're
do that
at...
because
I mean, that's already 6 digits, but you also need 1, 2, and 3.
right. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And 8, 9 somehow, but that doesn't work. So 3
But it's
comes
the
out.
same. It's the same set for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if 6 is the highest, 6 has to be at the bottom, and that would be 1, 2, and 3. But then that Ren band would be 6, 5, 4, 3. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9 is not even a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. What if this was... what if 7 was the highest digit then? That 7 would be here. You've got a 1, 2 pair. So you've got 1 and 2. 7, 8, or excuse me, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1, 2. You've got 1, 2, and 4 here,
no,
except
that
this
would
is a
have to be
6. So we
would have to be 1,
we would
2,
run out of
3.
digits. So 7 can't be the highest digit. So 4 comes off. So it's either 8 or 9 being our highest digit. And if 8 was our highest digit, then that's 5, 6, 7, 8. And so that would be a 5 over here to make...
Right.
You'd probably have to put the 8 here.
Well, you wouldn't be able to put 6 or 7 there.
Right.
Because 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 4 digits. 6 or 7 would add 3 additional ones. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4. So you cannot have. So the 8 would have to be at the bottom.
Yeah. And this is all of our digits right here on this cross.
Right.
because these two don't overlap with these anymore.
Right. So, and since 8 would have to be at the bottom, 7 would have to be
Here.
there.
You could do 1, 2, and 5 then.
It would have to be 1, 2, 5. 6 could not be on there. Which would place 6. Just 5 and 6 on whatever.
I think this has to be a 1, 2 pair, regardless. Because because a 9 would go down to 6, and we know that the smallest digit on here must be on here.
Right.
The reason being that we've got a 1, 2 pair here, most likely. Or I guess, let's say it was a 1, 3, right? Then you could put a 5 on here to get 9, except you couldn't do that because 9 has to be 6, 7, 8 with it, so you couldn't do 1, 5. So these are a 1, 2 pair. And 8, the smallest digit's a 5. And
Well,
so
6 and 7 cannot be the bottom no matter what.
Yeah. Because I can't put...
Right. That's either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 2, 6. Because you can't have 4 on the... Oh, yeah, you can't on the Ren. I was going to say you can't have 4 on the Ren band, but I guess you can.
No, 4 can't go on this Ren band.
Not the Ren band, but the German Whisper.
Yeah. However, if let's say I put a 4, that would put a 9, and this would end up being an 8. Or something.
And that would have to be 1, 3, 4 for the 8.
Except I don't have enough space to get both a 1 and a 3.
Right.
This is my only low digit. So
yeah.
So we can't put 4s. Because we need 2 low digits on here.
Right.
And so these are the 2 low digits that are on here. From 1, 2, and 3. And then the 4, 5, and 6 have to come from this. So there's no 4. An 8 would have a 5 on here. And a 9 would have a 6. So yeah, this has to be 1, 2, but the 3 comes out. Although, a 7 being the highest digit made this one a 6.
Right.
And you couldn't put 1, 2, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1, and 2. Yeah, okay. Same with 6 being the highest digit. You'd have 6 here, a 3 there, and an 8, 9 pair, and that's too many.
Well, that 8 cage is going to have a 1 or 2 in the top.
Right. And then this is either 6 or
7.
7. And this is 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the lowest digit, and I guess this is also going to be a 1, 2, and then
8,
8,
9.
9. This is either 1, 2, or 7, 8, 9. An 8 would force a 5 on here, and a 9 would remove the possibility for 5. So this can't be a 5. This can still be a 6 if this is a 5, making this an 8. Which would also be the highest digit.
Right.
You'd have 6, 7, 8 across here. Which means this would be a 5. And if this was a 9, you'd have 7, 8, 9 up here. So this would be a 6. So you can't have 7, 8, 9 there. And this has to be our lowest digit then. Yeah, because we've got our 2 lowest digits, our 2 smallest digits, and the smallest digit possible on here. And so these are the highest digits, so this must be the smallest digit that's also on here.
Now, the last two of the column 4, which puts it in box 2, would be 1, 2, 5, 6.
Right.
Well, 5 can't go on. All right, those are 1, 2.
So you can't put a 1, 2 pair here.
Right.
So 8 must be one of these 2 digits, and 7 must be one of these 2. That's not a 7. This is an 8, 9 pair. You can't put a 1, 2 here, so it's there, and then this is 6 or 7. 5, 6, or 7. Oh, but this is an 8, 9 pair.
Yeah, which makes
So,
the top of the 10 a 1,
6. So we have to have a 6 down here, so this is a 9. There aren't 9s. That's not a 6. 6, 7, 5, 8, 9. Means that's 1 or 2. These are a 6, 7 pair. Makes this an 8, a 7, a 9, a 6, an 8, a 7. Not a 6. 8, 7. 8 here. So 6 is one of these 2. That's not a 6.
Column
this
3
is,
has a 1, 2. Yeah.
Then 9.
6, 9.
This is 9. And 7.
7.
The 6 or 9. These are a 1, 2 pair, so this is 8, 7. One of these is 1, 2, the other is 6 and 9.
The one on the column 6 is the 1, 2.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Box 1, the 10 cage, has an 8 in it, so the top is 2.
2 1s, 2. 1, 2, 1. And that becomes 7 here, which that is 7. 8, 8. There we go. That was a I would call that a tough puzzle, even though we did it fairly quickly. Thinking through all of the logic here was fairly difficult, I think. Not like overly so. But yeah, the logic here I think is really cool. The way that all worked out. Did it say? Yeah, correct. Alright, next puzzle. Looking for a Friend by Sandra and Nala again. After
Yay.
it gets dark, Nala loves to go outside and look for new friends in our backyard. Will she find one today? Normal Sudoku rules apply. Numbers on a thermometer strictly increase as they move away from the bulb towards the tip. There is only one tip for each thermometer, and each thermometer has its own color. Elements of the same color are connected. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Digits separated by a black dot are in a 1-to-2 ratio. Not all possible dots are given. There is no negative constraint. Additionally, the grid is partially covered in fog. Placing correct digits will clear the fog from surrounding cells, possibly revealing more clues. I still think that this fog Sudoku stuff is incredibly interesting.
Well, there's a black dot and a white dot.
And we know that the end is over here, but there's nothing necessarily stopping it from wrapping around like this. In fact, that would put the bulb right here. If it goes in the path that I just drew, but you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess you can go that way.
Well, except you couldn't do that. Because 9 can't go on a black croppy dot.
Although this is 9, so it'd be 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. But that's not allowed. It's too far. Well, black dot are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8.
And it doesn't show a bulb either.
Yeah.
So,
but we know since these are the same color, they're connected.
Right.
It's just where is the bulb? Go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I guess one thing we know is this isn't a 1.
Right.
And we also know that this can't be an 8. In fact, I don't think this could be an 8 either, because the digit that comes after 8 must be the end. And neither of these are consecutive at the end, so 8 comes away. Goes away?
6 can't reach the end.
9, 8, 7, 6, 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6. So neither of those are 6 or 3 then. So one of them has to be 2. Okay, well, it could go 1, 2, 3, or it goes 1, 2, 4.
The top one, the top of the black kropke dot.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 4, I don't think it can reach the end either direction.
4,
Well, if that's a
5,
4,
6,
5.
7, 8, 9. And yeah,
I
4,
think it's going to
5,
have to go 1, 2,
6, 7,
3.
8, 9. Yeah, so that can't be. So that means this is 4 then.
Yeah, the center one's the 2. That's a 2.
Because it can't go 3, 4 bigger. Oh, so that makes that 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, it's not consecutive with this, so it can't be 8 or 9. This is 5 or 6. And so there has to be at least one digit in between. Because we know that this is the largest digit, and that this is the second largest digit. And if these are connected, then this could go 7, 8, or 9. If there's an extra digit somewhere, then we know that this is 9, 8, 7. Well, the extra digit would have to be one of these two. This would be 6 and 5.
Hey, the yellow thermo that popped up, the smallest the bulb can be is 3.
3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 6, 7.
Which is a 5, 6, 7 triple.
Takes the 7 out of here, and the 6, 7, more importantly, out of there. So 8 and 9. That can't be a 7. It could be a 5. That's what I meant. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, but no 8. Oh, and also no 6, because we've got the 6 up there already. So we've got a 2 on those positions. Alright, well, this sees 8 and 9, so the biggest 6 can be a 7, 6, 5, 4. Well, that can't be a 4, so the biggest it can be is a 3. And this is going to have to be a 1 then.
Yeah.
It can't be a 2. Except that
Well, the
just broke
5, 6,
this.
7 is wrong.
Well, wait.
But those were right. It's just somewhere we had a flaw.
This can't be an 8 because it can't connect there. Let's leave that alone. We know that this is correct. 5 or 6, 6 or 7. It can't be an 8 because it would have to be immediately followed by this. Okay. Smallest is a 3 here. It can't go to 4, so 5, 6, 7. It can't be an 8 because it's not next to this one. So 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7 makes this an 8, which forces that to be 9. This 3 doesn't have to be a 3. It could be 5 or 6. This cannot be 8 or 9. So maximum is 7, 6, 5, but it can't be 5, 4, 3. This can't be a 2. Oh, I think that was the problem. Right?
Yeah.
So if I put 5 here, it doesn't work. But if I put 4, it doesn't work either. But it can't be a 5, so 4, 3. It can't be a 2, so it has to be a 1. So
Well, the 1 was right.
Yeah. And, well, this could be a 2, because that was just the biggest it could be.
So
this
then
could
that
be a
could be a
3.
3.
And now this could be 5 or 4, and then this could be, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 leads to 5, 6, or 7. Can't be 8 or 9. Okay, so now we've got this logic correct. I forgot to come this way from the puzzle.
Right.
Okay. Well, I guess there's nothing saying that they can't overlap. I don't think. So, it can't be a 7. It must be 8 or 9. And then this must be the one before it, so it must be 7, right? I think that logic is still correct. Now, these aren't necessarily connected. They might go this way. Okay, going back to this, it's still 1, 2, or 4. Because it can't be 8, and you can't have 3 or 6. No, we have a 2 in there. So 2 ends up being one of these two. And if this is a 1, 2 pair, then those are a 1, 2 pair. Which would make this a green bulb.
Right.
But if this is a 2, 4, put a 2 here and a 4 there, and then this can still be a high digit. Probably have to be 8, but the other digit from 1, 2, 4 has to be one of these two. Relevant or not. Left over in this column. 2, 4, and 8 are all out. This one is not 5, 6, or 7. It has to be either 3 or 9. If this is 6, then this would be 5 or 7. Otherwise, it's an even digit. Be any of the even digits. That's not particularly helpful. These two 1s, put a 1 down here. But could be in either of the places in that domino, so that's not helpful. Okay, we know that this has 2 on either side. So it can't be 1 or 2. It can't be 9 or 8. Although that doesn't feel that meaningful.
Not really, no.
Although this cannot be a 3. No, it can be a 3. No, it can't be a 3. Because that would put a 2 in one of these 2 positions. Because it would have to be 3, 2, 1, or 3, 2, 1. But if I put both 3 and 2 here, that breaks this one. This isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. If this was a 4, this would be 2 or 3. And this would have to be 1 if it went in this direction, right?
Right.
But this can't be a 1, and it can't be 2 or 3 because it would see both of those. So this can't be a 4 and go upwards. Can it be a 4 and go downwards? This would be 2 or 3, and then this could be 1 or 2. So that one's not broken. Actually, what all can it be? Cannot be 5, 6, 7, or 9. Well, this cannot. Well, I was about to say this cannot be 8, but it cannot be 8 if this is 7. So that's not a problem. So if this is a 7, this is an 8. But this could go 6, 7, 8 that way. And a 4 would have to go up. No, down this way. What about a 5? This can't be 4. It's 3 or 2. Then that's still 1 or 2. Which is fine. Let me think about this in a different direction. Got the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7 are taken, so 8, and then 9. this is a 5, this is a 6, and that's a 7. This cannot be a 5 because it would see both of those. And one of those has to be a 5. So that's not a 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they can't be 2s, so 2s are out. Oh, where do I put a 9 in this box? It can't go on the green line because it would have to be the end of the thermometer.
Right.
And it can't go on the left side. So the only spot it can go is here because it can't go in these positions. This is our bulb. So this cannot be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It must be an 8. So this isn't a 7. This is 5, 6, or 7. 8s are out of there.
Well, and the green bulb can't be a 1.
2, 3. Except it can't go 2, 3.
Right.
So this cannot be a 4. That would force 2 and 3,
Right.
which I think we covered before. But if
And
this...
since it can't be a 4, then the next up can't be a 5.
Right. And this cannot be a 3, because then this would be forced to be a 2, but that would break this. So this isn't a 3. Minimum is 4. 5. And then this can be 3 or 4. 2, 3, 4 triple.
Well,
4,
okay,
5,
the
6
copy
triple.
dot in box 8 can no longer be a 1, 2.
Right,
It's got to
because
be
then
2,
you'd have
4.
to put 1, 2 there.
And 2, 4. Well, that's the only spot for a 2 now. And so the 4 has to go up on the bend on the pink. Oh, it can go there. Shoot, I forgot that.
But this 7 prevented this from being a 7. So it became an 8, forcing this to be a 9. So that's out. This is on the middle of a line, so it's not a 1. This is the end of something. We've got 2 9s here, so this is a 1, 9 pair. Two, 3, 5, 6. Yes. 2, 3, 5, 6. These two are both not 2. Which means that's a 2. That's the only spot that can be a 2. Can't be in there because the 1 and the 9 got 8.
Yeah, the 2 takes the 2 off the bulb in the green.
This is the highest. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And I guess it could theoretically be the smallest. So it can't be 1 or 2. Or 5, 6, 7. If this was a 7, that would be a 6, but this can't be anything then. It's not a 6. Now we've got 4, 5, 6, which makes this 3. Takes 3 off of that. 4, 5, 6 as well, which leaves 8 and 7, I think. And 7, 8 pair. But this is 8 and 7. That's 8. 3, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, 2 or 7. Odd digit has to be a 5. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 6, 8. 4 removes 8 as a possibility. So it's either a 1, 2 or a 3, 6. This isn't 4 anymore.
Virtual 2, 3 pair. The Kropke dot and the 2, 3 on the in box
Right.
7.
So this is a 7, a 2, not a 2. Not a 7. Okay. If this was a 3, you'd go 2, 1, 0. That's not a 3. This cannot be an 8. This isn't a 9. This cannot be a 7. 4, 5, and 6. Well, we know this is the biggest, so maximum is 5, 4, 3. I guess this could be the smallest, so 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. 3, 5, 6
triple.
means this is a 4. 2, 4. 3, 5, and 6 takes 3 out of that. This one, if this was this, excuse me, if the bulb went this way, right, then this would be a 2, and that would be a 1. But that can't be a 2, so it can't go this way. So this is smaller than this is, and this is a 1, right?
Right.
Not a 9, not 7 or 8, apparently. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not 4, 7, or 8. Consecutive, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not an 8. This isn't a 9. This is 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite, but we've got 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 9 here. That's a 2, that's a 4, that's not a 4. 5, 6, 7, is that a 4 and a 3? 5 and 4 and 6. Not 4, so 5, 6 pair makes that a 3 and a 6. Not a 6. That's 3, that's 4. That's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 5, that's a 6. 5, 5, 6, 3, 5. 5 has to connect to 6, because it can't connect to 4. 7, 8, 9, I think. 9, 8, 7. 7. 1, 5, and 6. 5, 6 pair. Means this is 4, 8, 3, 9, 2, 5, 6. 1, 7 pair.
Oh, looks like Nala found a friend.
1 and 2. This is a 9. That's 9. 5, 6 pair makes that a 9.
The
4, 5,
elbow
and
on the
8.
purple line can't be a 2 because it
Right,
sees
so you
both the
see
1
both.
and the 2.
5, 6 pair makes that 8, 5. These two, 1, 2, and 7. 2 and 7. 1 and 7. 2 and 1. 1 and 8. This is probably a 3, 6 pair. Yeah, it has to have 3, so it has to be 6. 3 and 6. 5, 5, 6. 6 and 5. I think that's what
Like
can't be a
Nala found
4.
a hedgehog.
And that's probably not the best friend to find. 9.
8 and 2.
Nice. The solution is correct. Nala enjoyed meeting the hedgehog. The downside is that she picked up a flea from it.
Aww.
That, yeah, that is a bit upsetting. Fleas aren't fun. But I guess that's better than the other possible downsides, because hedgehogs are spiky. They're not like porcupines.
No. They
But,
don't have loose quills that work their way in, but
they're still unfriendly to hug. Right. Next puzzle. Irregular flags by Math Guy Mike. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits within a cage sum to the given total. Digits may not repeat in a cage. Digits on an indicated diagonal must sum to the given total. Cells joined by a white dot must contain consecutive digits. Cells joined by a black dot must contain digits in a 1-to-2 ratio. Right. 15 is 6, 7, 8, 9. And 15 like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 9, 1, 2 pair. 17 is an 8, 9 pair. That's not 8, 9, so this isn't 6, 7. 12.
and 20 is 32, which leaves 13.
13.
But that's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad across row 2.
$21. 17 and 4 if it was an 8, 9 pair. Yeah. And you can't put a 9. Well, you could put a 9 up here. It's just the remainder couldn't be
8
couldn't
and
have
4.
8 in it. Yeah. Although no, you can't put a 9 because that's an 8, 9 there. So that's not a 9 anyway.
Well, then you can't have 4 in the
Right.
21 because 4 requires 8, 9.
So it's 5 and 7, 9.
Or 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So 7 has to be in there.
Yes.
Can't have 4, so we have to have 7. And then it's either 8 or 9, and either 5 or 6.
Now, on that white Kropke dot, you can't have 8 on the bottom.
Because 7, 8, and 9 are removed, so it's not
right.
And the minimum here is a 5, which means the minimum here is a 4.
And it also can't be a 7 on the bottom one, because it... Right, because if it's...
7 pairs with 6, be 5 and 9 here.
Right, but that would work, so...
Yeah. Two, 3, 4, 6, 8. You can't put a 1 because the 1, 2 pair. 1, 2 pair takes a 2 out of the bottom. The top can still be 2 and making the bottom 4. Nine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Not 1, 2 in the bottom. Doesn't have to have 8 and 9 in it. In fact, it couldn't have both 8 and 9. Can't have both 4 and 5.
3, 4, 5, 8 comes out.
Can't have both 4 and 5.
Oh, the 20?
Uh-huh.
Pop those back up again. It can't have... I guess I don't see any 5 and 9s or 4 and... It can't have both 4 and 8. Because the 13 has to either be 4, 9 or 5, 8.
Right.
So it can't... So the 2, 4, 6, 8 has to come out. But I don't see a 5, 9.
It's 5 and 9 is 14. I'd have to make 6, which would have to be 2 and 4.
Right. And the 2, 4, 5, 9 already came out.
Because it couldn't be both 4 and 5.
Right. Well, we know that the 2 across the top of that 20 have to come from 1, 2, 3, 4. Because there's a 6, 7, 8, 9 in that row.
Yeah. And the biggest you can make is 9, you have to have 11 here. Oh, except we already have... Well, not necessarily all of it.
Well,
This one is around...
since if you include 5 in the lows, they all can contain 2 high and 2 low. 2 from 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 from 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And since 6, 7, 8, 9 is across the row, the bottom 2 have to come from 6, 7, 8, 9.
So that's our 3 high digits. We only have 1 high digit, 6 or 7 in here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that means 20 cannot be both 6 and 7. Yeah, because then this
Right,
would
because
have to
it
have
has
8
to
and 9.
contain either 6 or 7. Right.
What about these 15? 6, 7 is out of here. 6, 7. I don't know if anything else is helpful.
The one on the right in box 6, the 15 in box 6, can't contain 3, 4, 8.
So the 4, 8 would mess up the 13 like before.
Right.
It can't be 4,
Can't
5,
contain
6.
1, 5, 9.
Similar reasoning as the 4, 8.
Right.
It can't have both 6 and 8, because then that would be too many high digits. 6,
Right.
7, 8, and 9. It can't be 6,
Same with
7,
6,
because
7.
7. So it has to have either 4 or 5, it looks like.
Right, and it has to contain 1 from 7, 8, 9.
Which means
That's a virtual quad.
6, 7, 8, 9 are removed. And so are 4 and 5. And this can't be a 1 or a 2, because the 15 has to have 4 or 5 in it. If it didn't
Right.
have 4 or 5
Which
in
pairs with the 4, 5, right.
it would have to have... It would have to have a 6 in it. And it couldn't be 6 and 7. And it couldn't be 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. So the
And if we
bottom of that
didn't-
column is a 3.
If we didn't have 4, 5, or 6 in it at all, then 7 and 8 is already 15.
Right.
And so 7 and 2, 3... Well, 2, 3, and 9 is only 14. So it you couldn't do it without 4, 5, or 6 in it. And 6 would require both 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Or another high digit. You can't put 6 in another high digit, so 6 would be the only high digit. So you would have to have 9 with it, which would have to be 4 and 5. Okay, so other ways of going about it without having this chart here. But yeah, then it can't have 6 in it, and it has to have 4 or 5. So the 4 or 5 is pairs with that, removes those things. 1, 2 makes this a 3. So
which takes the 3 out of the 15.
And so we have to have a 2 in here. So this is a 1. And 4 or 5 are 8 and 9. So this is 6 and 7. This is not 6 or 7. These are not 8 or 9. This takes 8 and 9 out of there. Two, 8, 9. 6, 7 takes the 6 out, takes the 3 out. There's no 3 in here, so this can't be 6. We have to have 4 as one of these. That's not 6, 7 pair takes 6, 7 out of that, and a 6 out of here. 4, 5 takes the 5 out. So this must be 8 or 9. So that's
8,
not 8
9
or 9.
pair. Yeah.
The 4 or 5 is over here. You can't have another from 4, 5, or 6. So these are the two low digits. A 4 would be 2, 3, and a 5 would be 1, 3. So we know that 3 is here.
Well, and the third column in box is sums to 15.
Oh, 15. 6, 7, 8, 9 then.
Well, no, it's along with that
15.
8 or 9. The 3
Oh,
together
all 3
sum
of
to
these.
15.
Okay.
Right, because 9 and 21 is 30.
Right. I missed that.
So
And
those two sum to
15
either 6 or 7.
be 1 through 6. And they can't have a 3, because the 3 over here.
Right. Oh, a box 3. 12, the 12 cage.
Yeah.
Those two sum to 11. So it's either 4, 7 or 5, 6. It has to have 4 or 5. So that's a 4, 5, virtual 4, 5 pair.
So 2, 3 leaves 15.
15, yeah.
And
That's right.
this is 1, 4, 5. It's 1
Yeah.
and the other of 4 and 5. But no buts. Okay. In this row, I need one more high digit. So that has to be over here. This is 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, column 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, nope, that's also got a 6. Never mind.
I feel like it might be useful to paint our high digits, our low digits. Now, 15, we know it has to have a 4, 5, 6 in it. From logic we did before. It cannot have 2 digits from 7 up. 7, 8, 9. It has to only have unless it is 4, 5, 6, it can only have 1 from 7, 8, 9. Although,
It has to have 1 from 8 and 9, because if you look at column 3,
right. Okay, if it has to have 1 from 8 and 9, it could be
yeah, because
6, 8, and 1. And leaves the 9 down here. There's nowhere else 8, 9 goes.
right. So 4, 5, 6 is out. 3, 5, 7 is out because it has to have an 8 or a 9. So then that only leaves 1 spot for a 7 in that column.
Right. Here.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't, with 8 and 9, you couldn't put a 7 in here. 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 6.
Which means in box 1, the 6 is on the bottom row.
Right. So this is 7, 9. Excuse me, 7, 8,
It's 7, 8.
9. 7 and 4 are out for a 5, 6 pair. 9 is out, so it's 8 and 2 and 5.
Right. Go up above the, that's, yeah. Two, 3, 4, 7.
The 1 has to be one of these. And so does 5. Yeah, because it's the last of 2, 3, and 4,
Right.
and 1 and 5. Two, 3, 4, and 6. This could be a 4, a 5, a 7, and 9. So this is 9.
Okay. The never, nope, 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 nope,
If
never
this
mind.
was a
That was
5,
wrong thinking.
it would have to be 3 and 1, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the 3 has to be in there because it's
So,
either
go ahead.
1, 3, 5 or 2, 3, 4. So the 3 comes out at the top of the column.
Right. Now, if this was a 5, that would be 3 and 1. Right?
Oh, and that doesn't work.
This is the 1, 5 up here. This is
Right, so
4
that's 4.
and 2, 3. And now 1, 5, or 6 takes a couple more possibilities out of 15. Also not a 2, so that's a 6. It's a high digit.
6.
Whatever this is, these two sum the same. Because this is 15.
Right.
Subtract that, and it's the same as those. So 1 would make them both 14.
Right.
5 would make them both
Which would
10. Be 1 9 here and 2 8.
Which, oh yeah, I guess.
But you've got a 2 3 4 up here, because what's left over in this
Right.
column? 2 3 4 7. So I can't
1
have
5
2.
6. Yeah.
So
1
if
is in
this
both
was
sums. That's the 1. Because the other both sum to 14.
right, because 5 would make them both 10, which could only be 1 and 9, and 6 would make them
Both 9.
and
You can't do that with.
it'd have to be 1 8 and also 1 8.
Right.
Yeah, because 2 3 4 is out, so it can't be 2 digits above that. So yeah, 2 3 4 triple makes this an 8 a 4, 7 8, 5 6 7 1 5.
Which resolves the 15 cages between boxes 8 and 9.
9 8 6 7 5 6 7 6 6. This is 14, so that's an 8. This is 5 and 9. That's 9. That's 5 7 9. Cool.
The 17 cage in box 1 is resolved.
9. Hit. Hit. Low. Need a 9 in here, so this one's a low digit. 4 5. But it can't be a 4. It's 4, so 5 6 5. Low. 4 9. But that 4 places 4 9. Down. And I knew the 4 was over there because of that thing.
Column 1 needs 1 7 8.
8.
2 3 4.
4. Draw low digits.
Seven and 9.
Not 2s, because 2 over here. And 2s are above there. 7, 8, 9, 2. 6 needs to be 1, 2, 3, and 6.
Oh, the diagonals.
Oh, right.
Really not enough
So
information yet, is
10,
there?
25. Okay. This one. This is 10 and 15, which is 25. What is the maximum I can leave in the rest of it? A 3 N of 5 is 8 of the remaining 25. And
It needs 25, yeah. 8, 9. 17 and 8
3
is
and
25.
5. So that should have finished off the puzzle, I think. I need a 5
let's
in
look at the
here.
other diagonal.
So this is about a 5. Okay. And diagonal. So that's 10, that's 10, that's 8. So that was 28. There's 20 left over. Subtract 6, that's 14 left over. This is a 7 maximum, and 3 and 4 for a maximum of another 7.
You need a 6 in box 5. It's the top of the center
4,
column.
5, 6. 4. 2, 8, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 3, and 2. And that's correct. That was a decently difficult puzzle. I don't know if the coloring really helped, but the ways I don't know what I'm trying to say. Never mind. It was a good puzzle, though. I enjoyed that one. Right, next puzzle then. Decimation by James Sinclair. Normal Sudoku rules apply. In cages, digits must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage. Digits cannot repeat within a cage. Digits in cells separated by an X sum to 10, and all possible X's are given. So that usually means that we've got a coloring puzzle. Green. And I want to go out. Make this one red. Means that none of these are red. That one's not. If I make this one blue, that's not blue. That one's not blue. But that doesn't, there aren't any that are only yellow or blue. That's where we end with that one. Although, this cannot be blue, because if it was, then you'd have an X here. So if this isn't blue, then its partner can't be blue. Same here. Red. This cannot be red, otherwise there'd be an X.
Right.
And now this is only yellow or green. So let's make it green. Now this one isn't green. This one isn't. That one's not. And, well, those aren't necessarily a pair.
Okay, the 35
Yeah.
cage is 7 long,
Yeah.
which means it's missing a 10,
Okay.
which is going to be the yellow, because there's already half of the red, the green, and the blue. So the other half of red, green, and blue are going to have to be in there. So you can't have yellow.
Okay.
So that's blue. It cannot be yellow.
None of these are yellow. Neither of those are yellow, so that's red, so that's not red. Got our 2 reds, our 2 greens, our 2 blues, and a 5. And now this one is not blue, so this is not yellow. This cannot be
That's not
green.
green. Or, oh, yeah.
This one's not red, and this one's not red, because red's looking at it, so now this one's not yellow. Okay. Red must be in here. So another 10 must be in here.
Right.
Not entire. Well, also up here we have to have a yellow. Entirely certain how we go about that, but okay. Where does yellow go in here? Or no, first, where does red go in here? It can't go here, because you'd have an 10. So it has to go up here. If it goes here, it would see both of its neighbors. So it has to go like this, and now we get yellow like that. Okay. Blue is in here, but it can't be in the middle. Green is here, can't be in the middle. Okay. And now, what's missing in this column? We don't have yellow at all. So if this was not yellow, then those would both be yellow, but they can't be next to each other. So this is yellow, and this is yellow and blue. And then in this row, I've got red and green, but I don't have yellow at all. Or red and blue fully. I have half of green, but I don't have yellow at all. If this was not yellow, then you'd have 2 yellows here, but this is a yellow-green pair. Okay. So, looking at this, I know that this row and this column is got yellow in it, because the yellows in here have to be diagonal. And either way you put it, either here has 2 yellows in the column and 2 yellows in the row, or here, 2 yellows in this column, 2 yellows in this row. You can't put any more yellows. I guess it really just means you can't put yellow here. Okay. Where is the last yellow digit in this box? We've got 2 yellows here, so it can't be in this column. I've already placed those, so this has to be my last yellow digit, which means this one's not yellow and this one's not. And where's the blue digit? It must be here, so this is a 5.
Red,
Okay.
blue, and 5 are there on the left of box 2.
Red, blue, and 5. So then
And
this is
those are
a
just red and
red-blue
blue.
pair.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this box? I need another yellow again. These 2 yellows removed from here. Those are not yellow, and this is only 1 yellow. So this is a yellow. This is not, and this is. And now green is here, and 5 is here. We have 5 and red and green, and then the other from red and green. Okay. Now, if this was green, then it would pair with this green, put green in the bottom row. Now we know that one of these is red. Let's say it's this one in the corner. That means this would be green. You'd have another red in here, but we know that red sums to 10, and I would have to put that other green in here to finish the 20. So this cannot be green, therefore it's blue. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the same thing going on up here. You can't have 2 blues, otherwise you'd have to have the blues like this, but then you'd have a blue outside and inside the 20, paired with the reds, and the red sums to 10, so the 2 blues would have to be together, but they can't be. This is not blue. Okay. So what could the other red, yellow, blue, and green? We know red is definitely in here. But green cannot be in here now, because I've got 2 greens looking down in this column, so neither of those could be green, which means neither of those could be green, because they have to be diagonal. And I've got 2 blues, so blues ruled out in the same manner, because they would have to end up being diagonally, so if they're both ruled out of here, then they can't both be there. So this is yellow-red, and we know that they're diagonal like this.
Right. Column
Which
9
places yellow here. Column 9.
needs a second green. It can't go in box 1.
So this is green. And then row 9 needs another blue. And for similar reasons, it's here.
Row 7 needs a blue and a 5.
Blue 5 pair.
But column 7 has 2 blue.
Right. 5 and not 5. And this is my last green.
Column 9 needs 2 blues. And they cannot go next to each other.
And not the yellow, but the red that I'm missing. Okay, and then I need a yellow, which is going to be up here. It can't go here because I've got my 2 yellows. This is yellow. I need another red. Go in
And
either
5.
position. So I should be able to get more of this done. I need green. It can't be in the top row or the middle row, so it has to be here and like this. I can't have a 5, so this must be red. I've already got yellow, blue, green. So that's red. One of these is red and the other 5. There's nothing stopping this from being 10, is there?
I don't think so.
You can just put 1, 2 there. Now, if this was 10 and this is a 5, you couldn't then put that 5 here. That would force it into the 20, but you would have to have 2 5s because you put yellows in there. So can we do the similar logic of red, yellow, blue, and green, which we know that yellow is in there. We know yellow's in here. It can't be blue because blue is ruled out of these two, and it has to go diagonally. They can't be next to each other. Green is
Row
also
2
similarly
has,
ruled
yeah.
out. This is also red and yellow. And red rules red out. So this is definitely green. This cannot be green. But these should have been white.
Well, okay, yeah.
Because it's 5 green and red.
Right.
But this red pairs with that red and takes red out of both of those. So this ends up being a 5, and it's not a 5, and it's red. This isn't a 5, so it's green, so this is not green, so it's 5, and this must be red. So I must be able to do something similar up here. Red and red takes red out, so this is that, and red takes red out, so this is a 5, and this is not. So this is not a 5, so it's blue, so this isn't blue, so
Nor
it
is the
is a
one
5,
below it.
so this one is red.
Which places the 5 right there.
Right.
By Sudoku.
Yep. Blue and green, you can't put a blue here, so it's green, you can't put a green there, so it's blue, can't put a green here, can't put a blue. So then,
All right, the 13 cage sums to 8 because there's a 5 in there in box 3.
yeah.
So
they're
it has
all
to
low
be
digits.
1, 3, 4. So green must be
6, 7,
2, 8.
9. Right. And 21
Cannot have a 2 in it.
Right, because even if this was 8 and 9, that's 17 plus 2 is 19. So this is 8 and 2. 2 and 2. 8. 8, 8, 8. The rest are 2s. Nine, 4, 4, 9, 9, 9, 4, 7, 9. And now 6, 7, 9 is ruled out of all of those. The red version. This is our red. It's also red. 6, 7, 9, and 1 through 4. And 6, 7, 9 rules out of there and there. So this one is our red 6, 7, 9. And since it must be diagonal, it goes like this, 1, 3, 4. And then yellow 1, 3, 4 is going to be this one, this one, this one, that one, that one, that one, here and here and here. 4, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 9. And blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 9. Okay. We've got all of our highs and lows. Box 7.
The 26 cage. It's 13 left, and you can't have a 1 or the 3. So yellow is 4, 6.
Okay.
Any other cages besides the 35 and the 20s?
Oh, the 26 here should finish off.
Oh, right.
That's
a 9.
because
Right. Red
13
is 9
and
1.
13. So 9, 9, 9, 9. Number 9 places. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 7, 9. 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. And it's done. Nice.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was a really good puzzle. That one, the way that I don't know if it was because of the way that I painted it, or if like the decisions that I made. Like I made this one red, and then this one blue, and then the way that propagated around the puzzle. But the logic flowed really really nicely, and the 35 thing that you saw in here, knowing that yellow had to not be in there, I missed that one completely. It would have probably taken me forever to see. Yeah. Nice. All right. We should have time for at least part of the puzzle. So, Arrow's Dilemma by Dorlier. Exactly 6 digits from 1 through 9 must be placed once each in every row, column, and box. The solver must determine which 6 digits to use, and digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in the arrow's circle. This has got 3 in a row, so that's a 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one could have a 1, 2, and a 1, so it's minimum 4. Well, there's nothing saying that this couldn't show up there. But we do know that this digit is one of these two. But again, there's nothing saying that this doesn't show up there. They even show up here. Well, I only have 6 digits, so if this was a 6, you'd have 1, 2, and 3 here. So that's already 4 digits. You've got 1 and 2. I mean, I guess... you only need to add 1 digit, either of 4 or 5, and you're still not necessarily broken in any way by only doing one of those, because you still have an extra digit of freedom placed around the grid. Yeah, 7's not restricted in a similar manner. So there's got to be something else to think about.
All right. Well, if red is 9, then it would have to be center of the bottom row in box 1, because it couldn't be on the arrow in box 5.
Right. You would end up...
It couldn't be on the arrow on box 6.
that.
And there. That's possible, so yeah.
Although, if we have 9, then you've got some group here. Although I guess you only have to pair one of those digits in these two groups with a repeat digit here. And and you still end up with an extra digit of freedom. Okay. Well, could these both be the same? I guess I don't see a reason why. Alright, maybe a different way of thinking about the puzzle is, where can the largest digit be? It cannot be on any arrows, because it's the largest digit in the puzzle.
Well, and since you can see where it would have to go, yeah.
Okay? Can this be the largest digit in the puzzle? I would put it here and there. And now it can't be either of those. So this is not the largest digit in the puzzle. But these two, which means it's this one, means it's not there. And if this was the largest digit in the puzzle, it would go here, and there, and there, and there. Otherwise, if we have this be the largest digit in the puzzle, it goes here, and here, and there, and there. But if this is the largest digit in the puzzle, it can go in any of those positions. And it's just whether we start with this one or that one being the largest digit in the puzzle.
Right.
But is there any reason why it couldn't be both of these and that one? I don't see a reason why it couldn't be. It can't be both of these, but it could be both of those. And actually, if it's both of these, you still have this whole section here, so it's unrestricted. So is there a different direction to think about this puzzle? Could we do anything set? Like I could do those two, these two, and if I take the purple out of there, the red comes out, take the red out, blue comes out, those are in the same groups, and those are in the same. So the sum of these three red digits is the same as all of these blue digits. Is there a better set that I can use? Maybe something that doesn't duplicate? Because I could put this in a group, and that in a group, and this in a group. Need another red, but how about here? Now red, blue cancel, red and blue cancel, red and blue cancel, red and blue cancel. This one blue digit is the same as all of that red there.
Which is 9. Is the
This
is
has
the
to be a 9.
minimum it could be.
Yeah.
Because 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2 would be the minimum.
Okay. So now we go back. Oh, and we know that this is 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So now we go back and say, okay, this is 9. Where can 9 go in the puzzle? And remove all of the arrows. And this is 1, 2, or 3 now. So this is a 9. So it rules it out of all of that. Ruled out of all those, so that's a 9, so it's ruled out of there. And there. These two are 9. Okay. I guess the maximum here is 5. This is minimum 4. And those could both be 1s, so maximum 7.
Yeah.
I guess I don't need the red in still. Well, 1, 2, 3 means 1, 2, 3 here. So this cannot be a 9. That doesn't work. That's 9. That is. But this is 4 or 5, isn't it? As a 1, 3 or a 2, 3.
Yeah.
So this isn't a 3. Because it can't be 1, 2, because then that would be a 3, and then you've got 4 digits that are from 1, 2, 3. So we know we have a 4 or a 5. If this wasn't 9, it would have to be that digit, and it would have to be 6 or 7.
Well, actually, where can that digit, that circle go? Oh, yeah, it's either there or 9.
Okay.
So that can't be 4 or 5 on the elbow. Oh, yeah, it can, because that could be 9. Never mind.
We do know that this isn't a 6 anymore, because that would be 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And also the 1, 2 means this is minimum 3, 4. Still useful. Okay. Well, if this is not a 9, it has to be there. And the only
Right.
digit it could be is a 7. So this is either 7 or 9.
Ah, except if that circle is a 7,
Uh-huh.
then 1, 2, 4 is the arrow.
Oh, and where
Which
did
is 1,
7
2, 3,
go?
4. Then you have to put 7 in that, which would be next to it. So that has to be a 9.
Right. That felt tremendously obvious after you pointed that out.
Yeah.
So this is 6, 7, 8. Which is not 4 or 5. So this is 4 or 5. Which means this is 6, 7, 8. and this is 3, 4, 5, 6. But I do have a 4 or 5, but not both from 4 and 5. And so this 4 and 5 is here. And so I've got 3 and 6.
In box 5.
6 and 3.
Then those have to both be 2s, and that's a 5.
Which is 2, 3. 1 here. Well, this isn't 9. And it's not 5. So it's going to have to be a 6 or a 3. Could be a 3. And this would be 1, 2. Or, well, we know this is 5. So this could be 1, 5. But it wouldn't be there. This is 1 or 2. And this is 5. And, well, this is 3, 6, 5. That's not a 6. This is a 1, 2 pair. You can't put a 3 here, so it must be 5 or 6. Although, if this was a 6, or excuse me, if this was a 5, I guess this could be 3 and 2.
Well, the column 2, that elbow is just a 3 or a 6, and it can't be a 6.
That's a 3. And this now can't be a 6, because then you'd have 2 3s. So this is 5, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 6. This is going to have to be 2 and 6, isn't it? It can't be 2 and 6.
It has
so it's
to
going to have
sum
to be
to
3
8.
and 5. 5, 3, which is... well, he was either 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. So, but this 2 down here finished that off. So 6 is here and 2 there, and that's the puzzle. And it's just after 10.
Yep.
I like that one. I didn't expect the set stuff to pan out. I'm not sure why.
But that was good, though.
Yeah.
You chose the right group.
Yeah. It's just super difficult. I guess I should technically explain, depending on how educational I want these puzzles videos to be. But explaining the logic behind how that works. Because with set theory, you're basically saying that two groups are identical, and if you remove a digit from both groups at the same time, then it keeps both of those digits the same. So, like if we look at this row here, if I mark this row in red and this column in blue, we can see that they're 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. 3, 5, 6, 9. If I take the 5 out of both groups, it stays 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9. So they're the same. So whenever you overlap like that, you can remove them. So let's mark this row and this column. And we've got 3 more digits that are in both groups simultaneously, so they can be removed without affecting the set. Now, the next thing that I did was that the sum of these two is equal to their arrow, or the sum of the arrow is equal to the circle. And since they're in opposite groups, I can say that the sum of the blue group would still be the same as the sum of the red group, even after this 1 and 2 is removed, and the 3 is removed from the other group. Because 1 and 2 sum to 3, and take the 1 and 2 out of blue, the 3 out of red, and so since red and blue summed to the same value before, they summed to the same value after, since I took the same amount out. Do the same thing down here with the 2, 3, and 5, and then this 1, 3, 5, and red. And so that got us that this had to be the same as those groups. or this digit had to be the same exactly. Had to be. Hopefully that was reasonable explanation. If it wasn't, comment down below. Anyway, yeah. Anywho, these were fun puzzles. Anything to add before we sign off, Mama?
Not that I can think of.
All right, then that will be it for today. And the stream. Thank you all for watching. Good night.